perimenopause is really the time before we hit menopause, which is menopause is described as when you haven't had a period for a full year. So if you haven't had a period for 8 months and then your period arrives, then you start the clock all over again. And perimenopause is the time before that these days, cautiously tracking it from around the age of 35, because we've got so much stress in the world that people are seeing quite a lot of hormonal dysregulation from as early as the age of 35. And when people think of menopause, they think of the hot flashes and all of these different symptoms, but those are symptoms that occur in perimenopause. So perimenopause is also described as the second puberty. So it's puberty in reverse. So if you've got a daughter, or you can remember when you went through puberty, it's really that whole experience going backwards. So your body is trying to recalibrate as your ovaries are deciding that they no longer want to produce the sex hormones. So there's this whole brain ovary connection going on where there's sometimes shouting, there's sometimes overproduction of estrogen. So it's a very topsy-turvy time and quite an unpredictable time for women, and they can feel quite out of control because they don't necessarily understand what's going on in their bodies.
And also, obviously, we'll come on to talk more about it in more detail, but obviously once a woman's gone through menopause, that also has effects on health as well.
Yes, because I think until women start to go through this perimenopausal transition, there isn't really this appreciation for the different roles that our sex hormones play in our body. We just think about it in terms of having a baby or not having a baby, and trying not to have a baby when you don't want to have a baby. And actually, there are hormone receptors all over our body. And when we're starting to lose our sex hormones, or we have an overproduction in certain of our sex hormones, it impacts all of our body systems. So our immune system changes, we become more inflamed, it can impact our mental health, brain fog, weight gain, insulin sensitivity. It impacts all of those different things. And it's only until this change starts to happen in our body that I think women really appreciate what our hormones have been doing for us all of those years.
Yeah, I mean, it also increases the likelihood of heart disease, doesn't it? And osteoporosis as well, the two big ones.
Yeah, like we lose muscle, so sarcopenia is a big thing. And then with that also comes osteoporosis and the loss of bone strength.
So why would you say, what didn't women need to change during this phase of life? What would you say?